Pages 68, 69 and 70 focus on the idea of naming a spreadsheet cell, and we use a worked example called building supplies invoice to illustrate this. And it can be quite a useful thing to name a spreadsheet cell, particularly if it's a cell you have to keep referring back to within different formulas. So, naming a spreadsheet cell worked example. A name can be assigned to an individual cell or range of cells. Using cell or range names in formulas and functions can make them easier to understand and remember. It's a good idea to name a cell if that cell is frequently referred to by formulas or functions. 1. Create a new spreadsheet workbook and enter the data shown. I have done that here. 2. Enter formulas as shown in E6 and F6. So the formula for E6 is the total, which is the quantity by the price, so that is equal to C6 multiplied by D6. And the formula in F6 would be the discount, which is equal to E6 multiplied by G3, which we need to have dollar signs on because it's an absolute cell reference. So $G $3. Question 3 asks that we copy these formulas using fill down. And question 4, format all money amounts to currency, which I have already done. In table 2.36, calculating the discount for each product requires the use of an absolute cell reference. Let's see the absolute cell reference there. The reference to G3, the cell containing the discount rate, is absolute, so that when the formula equal E6 by $G $3 is copied to calculate discount for the remaining products, the reference to G3 doesn't change. Formulas using absolute cell references can be quite difficult to write, especially if you have to scroll vertically or horizontally to determine what the absolute cell reference should be. Absolute cell references are also difficult to remember. You may find yourself asking, was that number in A10 or B10? And then moving to that area of the spreadsheet just to check. This is time-consuming and can also lead to errors in formulas. The solution is to name the cell and then refer to the cell name in the formula instead of using an absolute cell reference. So if we turn to page 70, the worked example continues. Select G3 and type discount rate in the name box. So the name box is this little box up here. And ordinarily it shows the cell reference, but we're going to call this cell discount rate. And press enter to assign this name to G3. Note the name will not be accepted unless you press enter. Clicking the left mouse button does not work when naming a cell. And also note, Excel will not accept a cell or range name containing a space. There's another way of doing that, which involves using formulas define name, and I will use that in a later example. 7. Edit the formulas in column F, replacing each absolute cell reference with the discount rate cell name. The edited formulas are shown in table 2.37. So instead of saying equal E6 by $G $3, I'm going to delete $G $3. And I could type in discount rate, but the danger with that is I might spell it wrongly. So it's usually better to use the formulas tab and choose use in formula, drop down the list of possible cell names, and we have discount rate there. And then press enter to have that accepted and copy that down to replace the other ones which have $G $3. And obviously you're getting the same result because it's referring to the same cell. And then save the spreadsheet as building supplies invoice. File, save as. Building supplies invoice. And click save. And that is that worked example done.